Hey everybody, it's Andrew. Pardon I'll take them off. I won't be able to see what the hell I'm doing, but that reflection from the light of the phone reflecting in my glasses from my bright ass light up there. Sorry about that. Anyway, coming at you with one of my new Lego MOCs, my own creations for those of you. There we go. Sorry about that. Not in the Lego hobby world, so to speak. Which there's millions of different genres as there is with every other type of hobby. So anyway, as y'all know, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, especially the original trilogy that we grew up with. Come on. Anyway, Empire Strikes Back, #1. Anyway, I do like the prequels. The sequels, First one was okay. Rogue One kicks ass. My favorite thing Disney did besides The Mandalorian. Anyway, I digress. Back to what I was talking about. All right, so when the prequels came out 20 years ago in the early 2000s, they came out with a very unique design for one of the ships, the Naboo Starfighter. Let me see, can I flip? I'm using my cell phone here. Let me flip in. Yes, I can. All right, so there is the original Lego Naboo Starfighter. It's got a very... This is their second version. They did 3 versions of this. The very first one was wicked clunky. Then this one. And then the third one was like this, but the cockpit hinged. This was, you just got to take it off. But the hinges kind of look ugly. I always like this cockpit because it really looks like an actual cockpit piece of glass. And it's cool. Now, I added some touches. The tiles... And if you notice, light side, dark side before he becomes... And I redid the way these pieces go together. I flipped them around and changed them around to make them look more like... And added this little color piece to make it look more like the movie. But that is the Naboo Starfighter. It's called the Naboo N1 Starfighter. Oh, and I also changed that to gray to break up the color a little bit. But anyway... if you were to go by Star Wars lore, so if you go by Star Wars lore, up until the movies that just got released, that design, that ship, would be 70 years old. Now, to put that into perspective, that would be like us from when we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and our Air Force was using... I gotta put my glasses on. I gotta find something. Yes, I'm blind. Woohoo! Old age. Anyway, that'd be like us using biplanes from World War I in the 80s. So, what I decided to do is like, wow, they haven't, Star Wars comics, games, this, that. They always update. They've updated the X-Wing. There's a billion different freaking TIE fighters variants. It's crazy. They've updated all that shit. They've updated the shuttles, this, that, and the other thing. They've never updated this one. So, yeah, I need a cigarette. So I decided to update it. My new creation is, I call it, I'm going to move this one. I call it the Naboo N2-B Starfighter. Because there's an A that I've designed too, but I'll tell you about that one when I'm done with that one. I came up with the B first. And it goes by the bastard because all the enemies that encounter it get their asses kicked and they call it a real bastard. So the Naboo pilots adopted that. And they're like, yeah, it's the bastard. Because it's B, we'll call it the bastard. That's my little made-up Star Wars story in my mind, as all of us do. And I create this shit, whether it's games, comics, drawings, art, whatever. Anyway, I digress again. So, without ado, let me move my pack of Marlboro Lights. Yes, I still smoke. God damn it, I'm trying to quit. I've quit, and I started again. Anyway, here we go. All right. This is the Naboo N2-B Starfighter. So you can see the wings are a little bit wider. The reason it's the bastard also is it's using, what's the curve? I forget. Right now I'm a little buzzed, so I'm forgetting right now my Star Wars lore. Who cares anyway? These are basically engines made by the same corporation that made the X-Wings and the Y-Wings, which if you know anything about Star Wars lore, which, you know, you're not a geek like me, they were much faster than the TIE Fighters. Now, the TIE Fighters handled good and all, but they didn't have shields. They basically relied on swarm technology, just overwhelmed them. Send a bunch of cheaper fucking... Anyway, so the X-Wings and Y-Wings were way faster. So the updated Naboo purchased engines from that company for their Starfighters. Now, the original Naboo was N1, the yellow one, was designed for just planetary defense. It wasn't really designed to go far, so it couldn't hyper jump too much. It could do hyperspace faster than light travel, but it could only do one out and one back before it needed to refuel. This one is larger and has more carrying capacity, so it could do more hyper jumps. That's why I designed it that way. At least that's my excuse to hide the mechanism I will show you in a moment. It also has more guns. These, also from Star Wars lore, they invented that use hyperdrive technology, electromagnetic pulse, EMP guns. That's what they are on the front here, EMP gun. So it can shoot out an EMP gun and take out a bunch of TIE fighters and disable them, and either let its squadrons of A's take them out or take them out themselves, because it has regular blasters. But it also, if you've seen Star Wars Rebels, they have a B-Wing in there that has these ion cannons that can split apart literally in a destroyer, a big battleship. It's got those too. 1, 2. I came up with a unique design resembling the original with these long slopes, but I put a red stripe in the middle. I went with Obi-Wan colors, the dark gray and the red, because I like the color combination. Couldn't find these in gray. They only make these 2x-curve ones in this certain color, so I picked 2 unique colors, and in my mind, that's the colors of the manufacturer of the Naboo Starfighter. This is a radar. The other one didn't have this curve. See how it curves down towards this is an R4, not an R2. See the red head? See how it curves instead of just sloping up and stopping? That's got a radar jamming technology. They call it cloaking, but it's more actually stealth. But in Star Wars, they still call that cloaking. It's just radar jamming, so they don't see it till it's too late when you're in visual range. So it's got the same type of tail. It's a little thicker. It's got more armament. It comes on the original one. This stuff stopped right here where the cockpit glass stops. I made mine go further back, but that's also because of the mechanism, which I'll show you in a minute. And these are kind of like a cross between the X-wing and the Y-wing, but I just made the rails much shorter and gave it these little curved thingies, which I've seen other people do. This is all. Some of these ideas are ripped off of other designers. So here, there's the EMP cannon, ion cannon, regular blasters, front view. Woo! But, all right, I will show you the unique feature, which this is a big shout out to another Lego designer that I've talked to and actually bought some of his MOCs and built one of them. This goes out to TJ of TJ's Lego Room. I do believe he's in Utah. He's an awesome designer. Here, real quick. See that white tank thing? There's the tank from Rogue One. That's a Jedi Temple Guard tank. That's his design. I bought his design, bought the parts. And he's got a really unique seat mechanism, which I borrowed from him. So this is a shout out to you, TJ. Everyone, here's the cool mechanism TJ invented. That slides out. Take your guy right out. You can stud him down, but he's got enough room to just be dropped in. And there's a cockpit piece, printed piece, and a targeting. Here, I'll take the cockpit off. You don't have to, but little targeting computer, like, no, Luke, use the Force. And you can see a printed Lego cockpit piece. Let me put that back on. But the thing is, you don't have to take this off. You can just slide it forward. Oh, I got to hold the ship. Hold on. Boop. Slide it. And slide it. It's so simple. And I think TJ, I've seen it done before. It's been done on, but done differently. He made a really compact, great design, and I borrowed it for my starship. So there it is. That's the Naboo N2-B Starfighter, the bastard. Let me show you it from the top, because that's a really good, it's got great lines. At least I think it does. Oh, see, this one's, instead of just having Lego bricks, I bet these are actually like vent pieces. You see that? They indent down, and I put a slope piece there going down to the front one. That's because underneath, I've got this, see that angled flat piece right there? Well, it sits off, and you can't really see. Oh, that's the stand. Let me take the stand off. There, no more stand. Right behind that is a curved slope piece, so it looks like an air intake, like it comes up and goes through when you enter an atmosphere to relieve pressure off of it. I don't know. That's my geekiness. Anyway, that is my Lego MOC, the Naboo N2-B Starfighter, the bastard. Let me know what you think. TJ, shout out to you, my brother. Hope you like it.